Yeah, time flies when you're having fun. And many of the times you've seen yourself doing things a little different. You thought things might go one way, they went another way. You thought that you would get the promotion, you didn't. You thought you was going to get that job, you didn't. The girl that you with didn't do you well. The guy that you with didn't do you well. Things just didn't seem like they lined up too well. You were probably sitting there asking yourself, what am I doing? You're living, you're breathing, and there are people who experience you in a totally different way than you experience them. There are people who can't wait to get your phone call, who can't wait to hear your joke or to hear your laugh or to see your smile or to just look in your eyes and see life. But I know it's somebody out there who is really battling. They're really struggling to make this all make sense. And if you're one of those people and you're really close, I need you to dial 3 numbers. 988. It's not going to set you back. It's very simple. 988. So before you make a decision that we have to live with, make one that you can live with and get help. Now let's punch in and talk football. What's going on, Pride Nation? We back at this thing again. Day 2 of me getting us to the draft. I'll be at it again tomorrow at 8:30 again. I won't be on doing the draft only simply because I want to see what happens. And one of the things that I've noticed is that many of the times the reactions to a pick be so emotional in the moment that you have to be able to try to put the puzzle together. And that's one of the reasons why the thumbnail is always reflective of a puzzle. Until I feel like I'm starting to see it, you'll start to notice that the puzzle will come together more and more and more. Today on the show, we are going to talk about headlines. Yes, the stupid and the smart ones. We're also going to be talking about the Lions free agency and how it's going to affect the draft on Thursday. And we're going to talk about Brad Holmes because I see that's another one of the headlines that keeps coming up. And on top of that, let me make sure I do this appropriately. Shout out to the Detroit Pistons for ending the longest playoff win drought with a win over the New York Knicks yesterday. Shout out to them. Glad to see our boys getting back in that swing of things. Let's see who's in the building with me so I can get this thing going. Not going to be a long show, maybe about an hour, maybe a little bit over an hour. We'll see. But let's see who in the building. We got my man Looney Tune in the building. Giovanni Lyons in the building. We got, let me see. Hold on. Let me make sure I don't miss nobody. We got Dr. Detroit's in the building with us. He said, this guy's still around? I thought aliens captured him. Bruh. It was, listen, life was lifing. Life was lifing. Damn. Life was lifing. I'm sorry. Life was life, and that's all I can say. All right. I mean, what can I say, man? What can I say? All right. That's a good one. Dolo Dynamite's in the building with us. D-Map Zoom is in the building with us. Let me get this off the damn screen. Hold on, people. My bad. I gotta go ahead and get my subscription back. All right. D-Map Zoom is in the building with us. D-Town Diplomat, you're in the building with us. One Pride 40, 2 days until the draft, 4 days until vacation. Boy, I know you happy about that vacation. Lions Lee, what up, though? Says, what up, good people? Alana Brandon says, can we trade Brad Holmes and Rod Wilson if the Lions lose J-Mo? That's a setback. Yeah, we're going to talk about this. We got my man Mac Walker Jr. in the building. We got my man's Super Saiyan Lion in the building. And we got Big T in the building. Motown Football is in the building. You Can Hate Me Now. Mackenzie's in the building. Listen, bro, life was life. I'm like, life was really life and 100%. All right, listen, let's get right into this because this is the hot topic. Everybody's going off of this hot topic. Jameson Williams unfollows Lions on social media. Possible landing spots for Detroit trade for receiver. Here's my honest take on this. Who cares? This is a bunch of BS. Don't have a reaction until it happens. When it happens, you can judge it. Don't have this Minority Report moment right now. And for those of you who are not movie people, Minority Report was a movie in which they were arresting people for crimes that they were going to commit in the future. We don't have that. We don't have the ability to make those judgments because nothing has happened. Also, ask yourself something. How often do J-Mo play? He plays. He has fun. This is probably funny to him. Another point that was brought up from my brother over there from Roar the Lions UK, my man's over there getting it in, Anthony, who says he could have been told by the Lions to do this for all we know. But until it happens, who cares? Now, let's play devil's advocate with this. Let's look at this more than one way. Let's look at it way number one. Let's say they actually trade this receiver, right? Let's say that actually happens. If they trade this receiver and until they get a receiver that is equal to or better than him, are you going to be upset for real? No. If they go out and they get 1 to 2 stud defensive players who looks like all pros, they can't miss. These are the new it players, the new Aaron Donald or the new whatever. Are you going to be upset? No. Until it happens, do not drive yourself crazy with this. We don't know if he unfollowed for contract purposes. I personally think he unfollowed because he thinks it's funny that people think he's going to get traded. Ask yourself this question. I want you to think about this long and hard, right? Ask yourself this question. Who has Brad Holmes traded from his draft tree? I wait. He'll let them hit free agency. He'll let them walk in free agency. But who has he really traded that he drafted? Tell me. Tell me when this all of a sudden comes about. This man is predictable in a lot of ways. And the uncertainty of his prediction is not nothing to write home about. This ain't it. Okay? So to my good brother Atlanta, Brandon, who says, can we trade these people if they get rid of J-Mo? It's probably not gonna happen. But let's say that it don't happen. And let's say that they don't pick up his 5th-year option, which they have till May 1st to do. But let's say that they don't. Or they do. Let's just say that they do. They pick up the 5th-year option. Now you got him this year and next year. Okay, cool. Cool. But I want you to ask yourself this one question. What has Brad Holmes done every time a player has performed? I want you to think on that because it's very important for you to understand people's behavioral patterns. And his behavioral pattern is, if you perform well, we want to keep you. He tried to keep Jamal Williams. Jamal Williams wanted a king's ransom and was trying to put him in the bidding war and end up not talking to him, or his lawyer or his agent stopped talking to him as a tactic. And he said, man, I don't want to get to play this game with him and miss out on other people. And he got a better running back in David Montgomery. But he was getting ready to pay Jamal Williams, who, in my opinion, it would have been a mistake. Jamal did us a favor. He paid a guy to come back who's hurt because he believed that he showed a little something in his few appearances. Don't get into this. Now, when the trade happened, look at what the trade gets you. And then it's the other part that we got to look at. Let me see if I can find it again. I had it up there, but it was driving me nuts. Let me try to see if I can find this again. I'm going to find the 2025 draft order, okay? And the reason I want you to see this is because the idea is that they're talking about trading him. Now, I said yesterday that I believe that we are going to trade out of the first round if the player that we want is not there. That was my belief. I stand on that. But I go through these teams, all right? I go through these teams. Let's start from, we ain't got to go through all these from the top. Let's just start from, say, 12. You think Dallas is finna let them trade up from 28 to 12 because you threw in J-Mo when they can just get a receiver right here? And they are more interested in taking a running back, so they're not an option. Miami, you want to tell me Miami is it? Oh, they're losing Tyreek Hill. Okay, so guess what? If you want J-Mo, you think Brad Holmes is going to say, hey, we'll give you J-Mo without saying you're going to give us Tyreek Hill? Make it make sense, people. Who need the receiver so bad that they're trading out for J-Mo? You tell me the Colts doing it? The Falcons? Who are they? Who are these teams? Just look at it. If you tell me Seattle is the answer, I'm also a Seahawks fan. It ain't happening, Captain. It's not happening. Because guess what they know? They just paid Sam Darnold's trash butt, and they let Tyler Lockett walk. They just lost DK Metcalf. They're not finna trade for no receiver. You know why? Because they could just draft one. If you trade for J-Mo, you got to still re-sign him. They're not doing that. The Buccaneers ain't doing it. They brought back their receiving core. Denver, Pittsburgh, who are these teams? You think they're going to trade them to the Packers or the Vikings? Because, yeah, that's how you rinse it. Come on now. That's not going to happen. Look at the teams. He ain't going to the Rams. So we're going to give up J-Mo to move up 3 spots. Come on, man. Make it make sense, people. Any trade that you get for him ain't getting you none of these first-round picks. Even if it means you get to move up. But who needs a receiver that bad? That's the question. That's the only question we should be looking at. Raiders ain't doing it neither. I'm going to tell you why they not going to do it. This is going to be the most logical thing out there. This is going to be they're not going to do it because if they already just dealt with a situation with another fast receiver who is now incarcerated because he had an immature moment. And if you don't think that the Raiders and Dallas are not looking at some of the reports of a guy getting caught for gambling in the stadium, a guy who had a gun or maybe didn't have a gun, allegedly, come on now. They know this information. These teams, are not going to trade for this. That's not what we're doing here. And as much as I would love for people to see it and say, cool, until it happened, it is not a story for me. I don't buy it one bit. Yes, it's smoke screen season. And the smoke is thick. I'm talking thicker than barbecue tar, okay? It's thick. And them probably telling him, unfollow us so it can help our cause to get people on the phone with us to do other trades, that could be a possibility. What I do know is you're not letting a player switch his jersey number after a productive season, because remember, he originally wanted number one. They told him he had to earn it. Even after they took number one from Chauncey Gardner-Johnson Jr., that long-ass name, even after they took it from him, they told him he had to earn it. And guess what? He did. And what is the trend? He got the number he asked for. Okay. He got the productive season that they wanted. It doesn't make sense to me. Okay. Now I put the link in there so people can come talk your talk because it's also about you too on this show. All right. But Dallas ain't doing it. Dallas, in order for Dallas to do that, to get J-Mo, and again, you got to remember, yes, we did rob him. Got a first, a third, and a fifth for Roy Williams, but he wanted Roy Williams because Roy Williams was from Texas. And he had been watching him at Texas the whole time, so he was smitten with him. This guy's at Alabama who came here. I just don't see it. Now, if we trading up, that's another story. But this whole concept of, this whole concept of these other players, I don't see it. All right. Now, other headlines that been driving me crazy are the mock drafts. But this one really caught my attention. Right? And this one right here caught my attention. Lions fans are selecting James Pierce at number 28 in simulations more than any other player. I'm going to tell you why this caught my attention. One, it lets me know that Lions fans want an edge rusher. That's one. But two, they don't want just any edge rusher. They want somebody with some spunk and some heat on their ass who is coming off that ball, forcing things. I happen to think that person is Mike Green, and I will trade up for him. If Mike Green had a Ohio State, a Michigan, a Penn State, a Alabama, a Florida State, a Miami, if he had one of them jerseys, a Georgia jersey, or Oregon jersey, he would be considered a top 5 to top 10 pick. But he went to Marshall. Now, I'm not saying that this is always the case, but the last person that went to Marshall that people overlooked because they thought, oh, it's Marshall, end up becoming a Hall of Famer and Randy Moss. Byron Leftwich wasn't necessarily bad with Marshall and wasn't bad necessarily for the NFL. He was, okay, right? But this tells me that Lions fans understand we need pass rush. Why they keep picking this particular player at 28 is beyond me. And my attitude to it is I can care less. Okay? Now, it says, according to data from the mock draft simulator from Pro Football and Sports Network, over 47% of the users from April 15th through April 15th through April 21st have selected an edge rusher for the Lions in the first round. I love that number. I love that it's 47% doing it. I love that the next highest one is a guard. Okay. The one that makes me want to puke is a D tackle. To all you people out there who are trying to select a D tackle in the first round at 28, you need to go eat a Snickers. You're not yourself when you're hungry. The Lions do not need a D tackle to this level. Okay? An edge rusher comes in and can start immediately. A linebacker can come in and start immediately. With Luke, who's the linebacker going to start over? He's not starting over Barnes. He's not starting over Campbell. He's not starting over Alex Anzalone. Listen to me when I say this to you. The only one whose spot is guaranteed is Alex Anzalone. And the Lions have already shown a level or a willingness to play the better person. Hell, if you watch Hard Knocks, you heard Shep talk about, hey, I don't want to put in the 5th round guy, but I will because the rest of y'all are not doing what y'all supposed to. So that position can be had. Okay? Guard, day one starter. My first round pick, if it's not a quarterback, need to start day one. I couldn't imagine us drafting Aiden Hutchinson and he got to sit. For what? Then don't draft him. It's just that simple. Don't draft him. All right? I personally couldn't imagine it. Now, keep in mind, yesterday I talked about this. I talked about people that I would like to see. I pointed out some of these players I would not mind. If a dual Carter for some reason fall and stuff, yep, I'd be happy if he's on this team. I don't have it in a particular order. I want a pass rusher. Michael Williams, he was another person that he has the potential. He needs to work on a lot of things, but I just want an edge rusher who can bring heat off the edge. Right? I talked about these people. Mike Green is by far the number one pick for me for the Lions. I believe Mike Green can solve a lot of problems for us, especially given the fact that most of the teams we're going to play this year got a mobile quarterback. And last year, when we went against teams with mobile quarterbacks, it was like playing Madden and the glitch dumbed out or something. But the fact that 47% are asking for this, I'm with it. All right? I'm with it. Now, it's interesting that James Pierce makes up 17.9% of that choice. But hey, I get it. And I know a lot of people like Donovan. I ain't even try to pronounce his name from Boston College. I know a lot of people like him. With him, I just don't see it. Like if we draft him, I don't see him being a player that's going to be like, yeah, ooh, he's just a player. He's like Josh Pascal, a guy who will make some plays here and there. I just don't see it. All right. So it says, Luke, break it down. Mike Green, why? Listen, I don't even need stats to break down Mike Green. Okay. Let me just be clear with something. Hold on. Let me see if I can bring this up. I can tell you what my infatuation with Mike Green is and how we got there. So, you know, we watch hopefully most of us watch football, no matter what it is. And one of the things that jumped out to me was a game in which Marshall went against Ohio State. And I just kept seeing this guy harassing the quarterback. I mean, he was relentless with it at how he was harassing the quarterback. And I was like, damn, who is this dude? And the first thing that I did was I instantly went back and started looking at other games. Like, let me see if I can find some other games. Maybe I'm missing something. Nobody should be doing this. Okay. And the thing that really got my attention was he had the arsenal of moves. He had the spin, the dip, the rip pull, the chop. I seen him do a jiu-jitsu move to get a man's hands off of him. Even in this particular clip right here, look at this. Boom, rip. And he's not using the same move all the time. He's not using the same move every single time. These are different moves, right? Look at this. He has a counter. Like when you watch Mike Green rushes with a game plan. He has a plan in mind on how he wants to get to you. Right? I saw him play the run. Even on this play right here, he falls down. Look at the pursuit to get back up to keep going. Right here, boom. Hands up all times. It's little things that he's doing to disrupt it. If you skip this thing forward, right? Now, mind you, this school ain't nothing special, but this is what happened when you ain't nobody to me. Like, this is what happens when you're a nobody to me. If I'm just better than you and I shouldn't be here, I shouldn't be here. And this idea of, he played lesser talent, so did Khalil Mack. But guess what he looks like? And if you think I'm lying, let me just show you something. I'm gonna play it in full speed though. Let me just show you something. I'm gonna play it in full speed, let you take in a few seconds of it, and then I'm gonna go and show you Khalil Mack's college. You're gonna get a guy who's relentless. Smart. Look at that. Look at that. That's a mobile quarterback. He panicked. He like, I gotta get away from this dude. He coming. Look at this. Just relentless. All right. Like, I want that. He's a perfect complement. He has the whole arsenal, a counter. He has the speed, the strength. He plays the run. He's playing smart. The football IQ is there. He tackles. Now watch this. If I go and take that same stuff and I say, okay, well, let's look at people like Khalil Mack college footage, right? If I look at Khalil Mack's college footage, you will see why I got all hype about watching him. You will see why he stood out to me. So let's just look at the same speed, same explosion. And ironically, they made their money off of Ohio State. Look at this. Like this right here. These are the same things Mike Green can do. Athletic. Look at this. You start looking at them other DNs and linebackers and pass rushers. Maybe Pierce, but I've watched Pierce drop so many interceptions. I'm like, yeah, he ain't got the hands. But this guy got an arsenal of moves. Right? On top of him having an arsenal of moves, let me just go back one. Hold on. Even if you go and you just looked at the highlights, right? You're going to still walk out seeing an explosive player who is generating pressure, okay? Who is getting you an arsenal of moves, all right? This is why I'm so smitten with him. He plays the run. He's able to get in the backfield. He's got an arsenal of moves. You're not gonna make him miss too often, but he's explosive off the line of scrimmage. This is what I see when I see Mike Green. The same explosion. So that's why I'm so like smitten with him. Okay. That's why I want him. That's another good point. Jared Allen played lesser talent and made the Hall of Fame. John Randall, I can name a bunch of them. All I'm looking at is who can ball, and he can. Now, I do want to talk about the Lions offseason on top of these other headlines, because another headline that popped up to me was this. NFL draft, Brad Holmes' 10 best picks as a Detroit Lions GM. Like, I ain't trying to be funny. These are all good reads and everything, but it's not hard to pick these 10. But again, keep in mind, who's going to argue with? This is the only one I question out of this 10. Jack Campbell, that's what you came up with? Jack Campbell. Jack Campbell to me took a stride forward, but Jack Campbell to me still just looks like, nah, I don't see anything special with Jack Campbell. I'm sorry, not sorry. Terrion, I took exception with this because I'm like, it's only 1 year, but I thought he played well for a rookie. I rarely saw him get burnt, unlike Okudah. And yeah, he's handsy, but he was there. But I don't know if I can get him to 10. Jameson, whatever. The jury's still out. He had a good year last year, a good start to the year before. All right. This just makes sense. Jahmyr Gibbs just makes sense. Brian Branch just makes sense. Laporta just makes sense. Ada Hutchinson just makes sense. Penei Sewell just makes sense. Kirby Joseph just makes sense. And Amon-Ra St. Brown just makes sense. I thought that was a cool little snippet. Let me go to my next little snippet right here. Let's talk about this damn Lions free agency. Now, let me just be clear, all right, that I had a list of free agents that I really wanted. And my list is going to be a whole lot different than a lot of people's. And I'm going to tell you why. My list was consistent mostly of pass rushers and linebackers. And the reason for that was, well, that and guard. But the reason for that was I wanted to, get certain players that I felt we can get and then add through the draft. When I look at this list right here of free agents, and I want you to do the same thing. I'll take it slow. What's the first word that come to mind for you? When you look up and you see these names, okay, what's the first word that comes to mind for you? Okay? Just take a look. Take them all in. I'll go slow. I know some of y'all, it's been a while, all right? What's the first word that come to mind? Put it in the chat. When you first look at this list of free agents that we actually got, what's the first word that come to mind? How far would you have to move up to get Mike Green? Sometimes you got to look at a window and say, is necessary to get to the point to get the guy that can help you. Whatever that is to get that guy, get it. Because it don't got to all be all your draft picks this year. It could be some picks from the next year or a year down the road. So just saying. But the first word that comes to mind, first word is okay. 1 year deal. The first word that comes to mind is 1 year deal. That's a phrase, but okay, I take it. 1 year deals. Doesn't move me too much. It's a word. It's a word. All right. You're looking at this list. What's the first thing that come to your mind? Because for me, it was and the more I looked at it, the more I was like, okay, well, I can tell you what I know we're not going to draft. We ain't getting corner. He added DJ Reed. He brought Khalil Dorsey back. He brought Avante Maddox into the building. He added Rock Ya-Sin in the building. Right? Like, he ain't taking no corner. I ain't got to worry about cornerback. He just drafted Terrion and Rakestraw. So I know we ain't taking no corner. Corner out the door. I looked at Pat O'Connell for DN. I looked at Mitchell Agudi, or how you pronounce his name, at DN, and I said, ooh, cat bodies, great. I was happy he brought back Muhammad. I thought Muhammad was great. I wanted Muhammad last year in free agency. I thought this was a guy that played really well. I thought he played well for us, and I'm glad that he got rewarded. Grant Stewart was a guy that I wanted when he came out of college. We got him now. He's going to be just the same as Jalen Reeves-Maybin, but, hey, whatever. I look at the D tackles. Yeah, bringing back Levi Onwuzurike, cool, fine, right? He brings back a guy who was hurt but still showed production and didn't get rid of him, but now we're going to trade J-Mo. I digress. I looked up and I saw Roy Lopez. I went, so what? Tim Patrick, I went, yes, bring him back. Dan Skipper, I don't know how the hell he's surviving with us, but so be it. So be it. But it also gave me clues to how we're going to go in our direction for the draft. And it let me know that he's looking at pass rusher. He can talk all that other crap about guard and everything that it's pass rusher and guard. Those are your two options. That D tackle talk is over and done with. You got to remember, he still got DJ Reed. He's still going to, at some point, get Aleem McNeil back. He brought back Levi Onwuzurike to play that other D tackle spot. He brought in Roy Lopez for depth. Like, he still got Broderick Martin, but, which is not saying much because it's Broderick Martin. He ain't did nothing. D tackle not on the list. I kept working it down, just looking at it. Okay, who are the people that's left that was a captain? That was a starter and a captain that had good production and good stories behind them. And the more I looked at that, the more I started leaning towards these other people. Leave the big man alone. I like Skip. Nah, bro. I don't know. Listen, Skip got somebody's wife pictures or something on them. I don't know how the hell he keeps staying. You know, it's not like, you know, if Skip, put it like this, if we didn't sign Skip, do you think Skip would have been signed by now? Think about it. Just putting it out there. But these were the names that I had on my free agent list. I'm just going to read them off because I was trying to bring it all up, but it was just too much. I had linebacker Jamin Davis. Well, Luke, why did you want him? He got injury histories. He wasn't consistent. He didn't do all that great for the Commanders, blah, 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 blah. We need linebackers. It's just that simple. We need linebackers. And we need linebackers with a skill set that evolves around speed. I'm tired of watching people run past Campbell. I had on there Kaiser White. I've been trying to get Kaiser White for 3 seasons. 3 seasons. I had Jerome Baker down. We didn't get none of these people. I had down a former Packer who can play outside linebacker and edge rusher and Patrick Jones. He'd have been a cheap deal. He can be depth for the pass rush position and linebacker and play special teams. I had down Hassan Riddick because I thought he was going, you know, he was going, you know, it didn't happen that way. The number one guy that I wanted didn't even really hit free agency like that, which was Dre Greenlaw. He didn't really hit it, and we deal with it. I wanted Isaiah Simmons. Yes, I have not given up Isaiah Simmons because I believe he still plays well. It's just that people don't see it, and I want him for the linebacker purposes because you can move him up and down and mix it up. I wanted Zach Bond. Didn't happen. I wanted Willie Gay Jr., Nick Bolton, Devin White, Damian Sherwood, Jermaine Moon, Isaiah McDuffie. We got none of those people. I wanted linebackers. When it came to the DNs, El Quadin Muhammad, you know, I wanted him. He was on my list. Joseph Osei was on my list from the Dallas Cowboys. He's still with him, so it didn't happen. Dayo, I'm not even playing with this boy name. He played on the Colts. I'm going to leave it alone. I wanted Azeez Ojulari. Why? Because he was playing linebacker, and I'm like, man, put that man hand in the dirt and let him ball. And yes, I know Isaiah Simmons says he doesn't want to play shit but safety, but guess what? The same, you have to look at how we do it. We've brought Brian Branch into the box and the linebacker position. We've had him at nickel. We've had him do that and go into the safety spot. And Simmons can do all those things while still playing the safety. It's no different. I wanted Trayshawn Wharton. And he gonna want that y'all gonna laugh at me on. I wanted Chase Young. Oh, Luke, you crazy. Yeah, I added Chase Young after we signed Marcus Davenport back. I would have took anything at that point. This is my list. These were the people that I was scouting, saying the Lions just got to get one of these guys because we need linebacker help. We need another DN. They got one of the players that I wanted. One. Skipper's the new Will Hit. Now, he ain't that bad. He just ain't that good neither. like I've seen better. All right. But this right here, when looking at the structure right here of what we got, it's telling on what we gonna add. We're adding guard. None of the guards that was added are going to be starters. And if you look, we didn't really, we didn't do anything in that spot. And the more I look at it, it's either edge rusher or guard. It's what we're going to take at 28. If we're stuck, I believe we're trading out of the first round. That's just me. I think they want pick 33. I think they want an additional pick in this draft in like the third or fourth round. And I think they want an additional pick in the future rounds, like a second or third round pick, to trade out of the first. That's what I think they want. I think they want multiple picks, and they want to keep getting multiple picks. Okay? That's just my belief. If they trade up, my belief is they're taking a pass rusher. Somebody fell to them that they could not believe got that far, and they just like, bump it, we going for it. If Abdul Carter somehow makes it past 12, Lions is trading up for him. Would I take Abdul Carter over Mike Green? I would not. Not for the Lions. Not for the compliment that I want. The compliment that I want is Mike Green. All he wants to do is rush the passer. That's it. And for that reason, that's who I would look at. So, now, didn't you sign Isaiah Simmons? But I think he already signed. Matter of fact, we can go and look at who got signed. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Let's go and take a look at who got signed. We don't even got to speculate. You know what I'm saying? We can in real time look at who got signed. Now, in terms of the linebackers, I'll just show you, what my thought process was. I was so sick when Greenlaw went to the Broncos. Y'all don't understand. I really wanted him. And I wanted Patrick Jones, who went to the Panthers. Hassan Reddick went to the Bucks. I wanted him. I know a lot of people were saying we should get Joey Bosa. If I knew we were bringing back Marcus Davenport, I would have took anybody. I was not ready for the Joey Bosa conversation per se, but whatever. But there were some names on here that really perked up my ears, and we didn't get them. Like, to go from the Giants to the Eagles, watch how he get used. I wanted Azeez so bad, man. Y'all don't understand. He would have solved the problem. There's no way you're going to convince me that Marcus Davenport going to be better. There's no way. Marcus Davenport only probably make it 4 games. Shit, it's not going to happen. Jerome Baker. I wanted that guy. We need linebackers. That's what you need. You need a linebacker. So we didn't get those type of people. Willie Gay Jr. went from the Saints to the Dolphins. Dolphins loaded up on linebackers. Right? And the Lions basically kept the status quo. Devin White from the Texans to the Raiders. I wanted that. Like, most of the people I wanted, they was gone. Jeremiah Moon, man, he was balling so tough. I was like, yo, man, we got to get Jeremiah Moon. But we didn't. Let's look at the DNs. I wanted Chase Young just because they went out their way to bring back Marcus Davenport. But this Dayo Odingbo, whatever you want to pronounce his name, who went from the Colts to the Bears, that's a good pickup by the Bears. I wanted that player because I saw his playing style. I saw his performance. That's what I saw. Right? Joseph Osei, I wanted that guy. I wanted people who can come in and help us win immediately. That's what I was looking for. I didn't want to bring nobody in here who couldn't do squat for us. You know what I mean? And I did not want to invest in people who was not going to be big. But when you look at the names that we added, I'm not mad that they wasn't big names. I'm mad that you didn't do anything in free agency that moves the needle. Right? Nothing. You didn't bring nobody in that moves the needle. You was cheap. And everybody who got mad at me for criticizing him for being cheap when it comes to the defense, all of them now are angry and frustrated. But the people that I wanted, I ain't have no chance of getting. And I knew that. I still could dream. Now, in terms of the safeties position, You know, I know that, you know, there was a few names out there. I actually had Jeremy Chin down as one of my options only because he can play it all. I was looking for a guy with multiple abilities. If we did not have Kirby and Branch, I would have wanted to add people like Troy Polamalu's nephew. I can't even pronounce this man's name. I'm not going to play with you. He went to the Broncos right here. I can't pronounce this dude's name. I would have loved to have him. Will Harris keep getting signed. I don't know who he got, you know, something on. But yeah, there were people that I saw that could help us. And I don't think we had to break the bank. And one of the things that was said to us was people wanted to come here. Like, that's how crazy it was. Davenport, let us pray for his good health. All right, I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give it to you straight, Dirty Glove Williams. I'm gonna give it to you straight. You ready? They've been praying for his good health since he came to the league. Now, I'm not telling you prayer don't work, but we might need to pray to every God. You hear me? This man is gonna be hurt. Okay, if he makes it 5 games, it'll be because he was on the bench. If you put him in the game, he's going to get hurt. Ghost Gunner says, I can't believe that Deshaun Hand is still in the league. Yeah. How many games would it take for Mike Green to adjust to the NFL? Speed and power. 1. Because you got to remember, he's going to be going up against that in practice. Right? Think about this. All right? I want you to remember something. The Lions have 2 of the best offensive tackles in the league. And when you practice against people with that level of talent and that caliber of skill set, you're going to get better. You just have to. Go and look at some of the best teams. Go and look at people who played for the Ravens and had to go against Jonathan Ogden and ask them how he just made them so much better because he would teach them what he's doing and why he's doing it and how to do it. I'm just putting it out there. So if he comes here, I think he adjusts really well. Going up against Penei Sewell is going to make you better. Right? What's going on, Detroit Lions bad guy, a.k.a. John Kapler? What's going on, brother? D-Town Diplomat said, that's why I think Pascal is our starter opposite of Hutch. No, he's not. I'm telling you, it's not. I'm going to tell you right now, if you got to ask yourself this question, if you are a linebacker coach given the opportunity to be a defensive coordinator, you have to advocate for yourself to do it your way while doing it the way that the head coach asked. Pascal is not going to start. They intend on Marcus Davenport being the starter. They believe it's something there. I believe what's there is an injury waiting to happen. They believe that they can unlock his potential and have it for cheap. I believe you just wasted my money on what should have been a good reach around and a happy ending that ended me up in jail. They believe that Marcus Davenport is a perfect complement to Ada Hutchinson. I believe Marcus Davenport is the perfect complement to get people hurt because he's inevitably going to lay on the ground and somebody's not going to see him. I just don't see it. Not saying that you're wrong. I just don't see it. So that's just me. Again, the link is in the description. I think I pinned it up there. I probably didn't. Let me see. I did. Okay. So the link to join StreamYard is in there. So if you want to come in and talk your talk, you can. I got a few more minutes, and then I gotta, gotta wrap it up because I gotta get up early in the morning. These people are killing me softly at this job. Let me just tell y'all something too. I want to point this out too. The reason that it was important for me to get back into doing this, and why it's important for y'all to make sure y'all keep y'all head into the sports, is because if you keep your head to the ground on all the other stuff that's going on right now, you're gonna go crazy. I have directly been affected with my employment from the current things happening in this country, right? And I can tell you this. This is a relief. This is the one place where I'm going to have it so you can come and be in peace. We're going to talk ball here. So, you want to ask me any questions, shoot them off. I'm looking and I'm ready to answer. But when I look at this team, I'm telling you, it's a lot of lacklusterness going on in terms of how we're preparing for a Super Bowl window. Because I can assure you, a few of those games that we had where we were playing a little bit softer schedule, you know what I'm saying? Like, could be a whole lot better if we had defensive help. The playoff game would have been better if we had defensive help. If we had a little bit more coherency in that regard, it would have been better. So just putting it out there. My man John Kapler is in the building. What's going on, John?
What is going on, Luke? So good to see you, man. I thought you disappeared and fell in a cave and we were going to have to send search and rescue.
Listen, I'm going to tell you, I got 3 kids.
I know.
This third one, let me tell you.
Uh-oh.
If there was ever a daddy's boy, all my boys are daddy's boys, right? But this third one be having me in a chokehold. he can't go to sleep on mommy. No, I got to be on daddy.
Oh, snap.
So making sure that I'm still a father and a husband.
No, for sure.
On top of dealing with some of the other things, kind of took me away from it. But yeah, I'm here for it. So what you got for me, man?
Man, I almost forgot you were on. I turned on some football, Mom, because oh crap, Luke's on. Or I think he's on. I need to get on. Man, I am ready for Thursday. I'm not even ready. I'm ready for Sunday. I'm ready for all the speculation, all this mess, all this yammer, all this clickbait nonsense to be over with, so I can just look at my team and say, we did that right. We did that right. Oh, Brad's got an like it just. I want to know what my roster is, man.
And I agree. I feel like right now, even the J-Mo stuff, it's just until it happens. Like listen, why get this man a whole new jersey if you're gonna trade him?
My coworker, my deaf coworker, came to me last week when they did all the jersey swap. Man, he's all like, I'm so mad. I got the Gibbs jersey. I'm like, calm down. It's okay. It's all good. Breathe. You get to go out and get another cool new jersey. And when he does something great, you can go back and go, I got the first jersey. Remember when he wore this number? I got both.
Right. And it's weird because the way I buy jerseys is based on when they done. Right? Because I've had some of my favorite players switch the numbers up, and I'm like, I don't want that. Like, I'm going to tell y'all right now, I'm a snob when it comes to uniform numbers.
Do you remember who this was?
87 used to be Brendan Pettigrew.
Nope.
If you go back, Johnny Morton?
Yes, sir. Johnny Morton.
Yeah, the only way I can remember most of these players is by their numbers. That's why I'm a stickler for it. So without the numbers, it's hard for me to remember. He was
one of my favorites next to Barry. Like, he did the karate thing afterwards, got his butt kicked. But Johnny was like my favorite little slot dude.
Yeah, and again, it's one of the things where, like I said, I don't see why if they're getting rid of J-Mo that they would do
like that. Just makes no sense.
They would change the jersey number and stuff. I think all of this is a bunch of nothingness. Because remember, people forget this. I want y'all to be clear. Y'all forget that Myles Garrett unfollowed the Browns. He scrubbed his whole entire social media feed.
To begin with.
Right? And look what happened. He's still a Brown. Now he's talking about how happy he is to be with Cleveland. Even though he claimed he want to go to a team that's going to win, he forced them, hey, if we ain't going to win, you're going to pay me like I'm a quarterback.
Money.
So, yeah, I'm with it. Now, Dolo Dynamite says if we lose, Brad should be in trouble. He's stubborn. Listen, I couldn't talk about Brad Holmes. I got yelled at for leading the charge for Brad Holmes' lack of importance towards the defense. I'll let everybody else talk about Brad Holmes now.
You know what? People hate the truth, Luke. People absolutely hate the truth. So when you speak the truth, you're going to get nothing but hate because people can't handle the truth. People don't like it. Clearly, look at Brad Holmes. He freaking out because he's gonna have to listen to the fans or something. He's so mad because we're right and he's wrong and he knows it. And he's gonna be stubborn and probably draft a guard and be like, I can get one in the second. Watch this. I didn't have to do what the fans said in the first round. He might even do it in the third round just to try and prove a point and be stubborn.
And if he do, that is what
I
it is.
hope it fails.
But I'm not gonna ever root for the team to fail, and I'm not gonna root for him to fail. And the reason I'm not gonna root for that is because we've had enough dark and gloom around the name Detroit, and now it's all birds and bells and whistles.
No, I mean, I want us to win. I don't want us to lose, but for that whole third round edge rusher to not do what he thinks and be like,
if he drafts an edge rusher in the third round, I'm just gonna wait for the fans gonna turn on him.
At that point, why bother? You already have Josh Pascal, and he's third round talent.
It is what it is. Appreciate you coming through, John. I got another person in the back waiting, and I want to make sure I get them all back in.
God bless you, brother.
Hey, you too, man. Again, I'll be on tomorrow as well. Let me bring in my next guest, Ed W. What up, though?
What's up, Mr. Luke? Good to see you, man.
I saw you on that video taking that vape in, and you choked up a little bit. I said, "Oh, he must get that THC oil in there." I don't know.
That's in the background.
What you got for me, man? Talk to me.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you where I'm at with this, and I'm sure that I feel like I'm in the 60% club. As a fan base, we're in a state of worry, not panic yet, but just a state of worry, because none of us have seen a sustained success of the Lions, but we are educated by watching other teams do it. So I give my hat and kudos to Brad Holmes for doing what he had to do at the time of building a roster. Now I think that we're getting into that realm with Brad Holmes where we're out of his element, where, I got a roster. I put them together, shock and awe. So now that little arrogance kind of kicked in, and I did it my way, not your way, if that makes sense. And what I want to try to say is about that is now as fans, we're saying good job, pat on the back. But we all see that you cooked everybody else up. But Aiden, you got a Lima partner, you doubled down, got the cornerbacks together when we were suffering like crazy. And now everything is settled and set, except for, I want to say, the nose tackle, because my man is still hobbling. For the last 2 years, gutting it out. Our left tackle, gutting it out. But we can make life so much easier for them if we just go ahead and get Aiden, a nice little person. And then on top of all of that, I'm going to add into this part right here. Thanks for listening, because I know you got something on backing. But on top of all of that, I think that we're still going to struggle because our coaches are improving. Because you know how hard I was on AG for putting people in bad positions.
You know what? I honestly can't disagree with nothing you said. In fact, I thought you was cooking. That's why I was just being quiet and taking it all in. I thought it was very well points. You're right. They have found compliments to every person and helped everybody out, minus Aiden Hutchinson. And again, this can be the draft where you can do it, but you can't tell me you're going to do it with a guy in the third round, because the question now becomes, who is this guy in the third round that's going to be so great and so good, right? And if you find him, then hey, you the man in the streets, and I'm gonna shut the hell up. You got it, right? But we all know that he has missed on those second round picks. Yes, he's had some success and some other late round picks. I wanted Amon-Ra St. Brown in the second round. That's how much I wanted Amon-Ra St. Brown. Why? Because I'm sitting here watching this dude put people to the sideline on blocks. I'm like, what? This dude is Hines Ward, right? So I get what you're saying, and he can do that this year. It's still time for him to do that this year. But this is why this year is going to be the most pivotal year, because if he does not give a legitimate compliment to Aiden Hutchinson, people are going to be upset. I've heard every excuse, man. We're trying to save money so we can re-sign Kirby and re-sign Aiden. What they got to do with you drafting the guy to help him on the opposite side? Like, what they got to do with that? That has nothing to do with it.
But that came with the struggle, because in one round you hit on 5 players, and you only got them for 4 years, and you can't pay them all.
Right, you can't pay them all. So the goal is to try to win with these guys on rookie deals. That's the
Exactly.
goal.
And I don't think Holmes see that because he keeps planning for, I'm just going to work the draft. That's not going to work.
And again, don't get me wrong. I'm okay with you doing that. I'm okay with you deciding to say you want to work the draft, but working the draft evolves around them players making sense. When it comes to you helping out the offense, you got that down pack. You put a lot of investment, time, energy, and money into them.
Mhm.
Right? But when it came to the defense, it's been paper mache pieces with glue stuck together, trying to, pray to God it works. And again, you brought up 2 points that I don't think people talk about. Is Brad Holmes getting to a point where he's like, oh, dang, what do I do now since I got this roster? That's the point that I
Yeah.
never even thought about. And another point was one that I was going to say for once the draft is over, but you're right. I believe that we're going to miss Aaron Glenn more than people think. I believe that these coaches are unproven, although I feel a little bit better about the offense because of David Shaw. David Shaw has a pedigree in the background for getting that ball running and designing plays for the ball to run. And then the other guy that they added, I'm drawing a blank on his name, the OC. He has a good pass game. So if you can somehow bridge those two gaps, I think the offense will still be fine. But the defense is where I think you take a step back.
Right. And it should be the opposite as far as the defense stepping back. All the pieces are there for the offense that if something was a falter, you can run with Gibbs and overcome some of the deficiencies. You got quick passes because we have great talent around him. Even if the line happens to take a step back, you can still fix that with some short yardage. And JMO is your top off. You keep playing up here, and JMO's going to go ahead and give me 7. So you can fix that. Now is not the time to cheapen the offense. I mean the defense. Now's the time to enrich that defense because we keep getting outscored. And with these mobile quarterbacks, I know you mentioned it earlier. These mobile quarterbacks has been a deficit for the Lions back before the 90s. So I'm ready to see where we're going to go with this, man. And I just want to. I don't know if you ever watched the Metro Times. You ever read those?
What is it called?
The Metro Times. You
Yes,
get them
I
like
do.
that downtown stuff.
Yep.
So I just want to thank you for being on air. You like my Metro Times, where I don't want to read all the fluff. I just go straight to the alternative section because you always right on point. I appreciate you.
Hey, bro, I appreciate that. Yeah, I try my best to just get to the point, leave all the other stuff out there, and try to get people to realize that some things we're overthinking it. We're looking too deep into it. Just like when we do the mock drafts, that's why I was like, man, I'm gonna do a mock draft this year. Then I was like, no, because every time I do it, I get chewed out, and then they do exactly what I did. I'm like, hey, the best thing you can do.
You've been proven right time and time again. So do you? Ain't nobody perfect, but you got a whole fan base here that enjoy you. So when you get out here, even after months or whatever, come on back because we enjoy your content.
Man, I appreciate it. Like I said, my goal is to do it. And plus, I'm working on something because I'm going to make this channel help me make a reality. And I'm just trying to get everything lined up to do it, to make a dream of mine come a reality. I want to leave something here that my children can look back on and say, hey, that my dad built that. He made that. And I think I can do it from this avenue. But I appreciate you, brother. You've been rocking with me for a while. And tonight you was cooking. You was talking that talk, and I can't even get mad at you.
We're here for your success, man, and you enjoy this journey.
You too. And listen, let me just do a quick little shout out for the people who don't realize that if you go back and look at the pictures and the movie posters in the background, that man has some good movies up there. Shout out to Lions Talk Live, man. Hit me up on IG. Hit me up on IG because that's what I'm gonna respond to faster because I be on Twitter. But Twitter is suggesting stuff that I just don't want to. I don't want to see it, man. Too much of the politics stuff is being suggested, and I don't want to see it. It's already affecting me. It ain't gonna do nothing but make me more upset. so because whether y'all knew it or not, like one of the reasons I can't even show my face is because of my job. And yes, I was a federal employee, and notice the key word was. So, but life was lifing, right? So. It is what it is. But shout out to you, Dolo Dynamite. He says, I agree with him, Luke, 100%. Lions Talk Live. Please, man, hit me up on IG. If you don't have IG, hit me up on Twitter, and then post a comment on the video like, "Hey, I hit you up on Twitter, Jesus Christ, X," so I can just go and look at it. I just ain't been on X because it's been all that political stuff. His response to the last pass rush question was a good one. My dog was good. Mars has landed. Man, I love the new pick. I love that new pick. What up, though? He said federal agent or CIA. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. I don't know what you were talking about. Just know I was there. I was there. I don't know what you're talking about, Big T. You trying to get people out here. Hey, I'm still trying to get the job back. I'm still trying to get back in the job. I can't confirm or deny anything. Just know there's reasons why they don't want us to have a social media presence. And stuff. So just putting it out there. Now again, to kind of go back and recap, let me just point out a few things. I talked about the headlines. I talked about the J-Mo thing. Oh, you know what? Let me go back. I want to answer this question. I really want to answer this question because this is a question that is starting. I need to address this. Looney Tune, Luke, why do people call Brad Holmes the greatest GM in Lions history when we haven't even been to a Super Bowl with him? I'm going to answer this to the most logical thing possible. Okay, stay with me. Just walk with me through this journey. If you have had the worst luck in employers, let's say you worked at McDonald's and every McDonald's you worked at, it was trash, hot garbage. Like you go in there, they don't give you no hours. They give you hours. They're the worst hours. They get you coming in at night and then go home and sleep for 8 hours and come back. Whatever it is, it's trash. You go to Burger King, and Burger King do the same thing. You go to Whataburger or In-N-Out Burger, and it's the same thing. And then you go to Five Guys, and now you get paid time off. You get better pay. You get the hours. And you're treated good. All of a sudden, your belief is the best place to work is Five Guys. Why? It's because you've seen the worst of the worst. And Lions fans have seen the worst of the worst with Matt Millen, with people like Bob Quinn, who actually didn't do that bad. He just made the most fatal flaw of hiring a buddy and not firing him when he was supposed to. Okay. So off rip, you're looking at a guy who's coming into a team whose history wasn't good, and a guy who's starting to show any semblance of goodness. I give you an example. One of the things you hear people talk about all the time is Larry Brown is one of the best, is greatest coaches of the Pistons era. Right? Him, Chuck, like these people are legends in the Pistons world, but they won the championships. And before those guys, you weren't talking about the Pistons. And before Brad Holmes, you weren't talking about it. My criticism of Brad Holmes has always been around his lack thereof effort in addressing the weakest part of our team. The weakest part. What up, though, Willie Ross? That fan, man, what up, though? So that's the worst part of it. Now, quick recap. We talked about the headlines, particularly the headlines of this particular topic right here. This topic of, I don't even got it on the screen. It would help. It would help if I put it on the screen. We talked about this topic. Jameson Williams unfollows the social media. So what? This is smoke screen season. Don't get invested in that. Don't get caught up in that. That's not for you to check in on and get caught up in. That's not your problem. Until a trade happens, there's nothing to address. Because what I can tell you is many of those teams are going to attempt. They're going to attempt to, how can I word this? They're going to attempt to make these rumors possible, and I would not be surprised if Jameson was told to do this to generate more people to call them for other trades. But I want you to remember something. Brad Holmes rewards his players who perform. That has always been his philosophy. J-Mo just changed his jersey number. Why have him change his jersey number if all he was going to do was be traded? It doesn't make sense. I don't see it. We talked about the Lions free agency thus far and what it means to the draft. And to be honest with you, when looking at the Lions free agency and how it matters to this current draft, is if you look at this, I can assure you we're not taking cornerback. You already had Terrion, you already had Rakestraw, and you added DJ Reed. You brought back Khalil Dorsey. You added Avonte Maddox. You brought in Rocky Sand. You added corners. I know you're not adding no more corners. Well, you know they're not drafting a quarterback, but if one rumors was possible, which was the Hendon Hooker thing, that has a little validity to it. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I pray he does get traded. I believe he should have a shot in the NFL, a fair shot, and it should have been here. But if it's not, let him go somewhere else and play and ball. And you at least get something for him. But when you look at who we brought in, I don't see any person that makes me believe that we're going to get a receiver. We only added Tim Patrick back. We still got Amon-Ra St. Brown. We still got receivers that we invested in. On top of having J-Mo. I don't see him trading him. Running back is not an option. If you look at the one position that he really didn't add nothing to, is D-end. D-tackle, he added D-tackles. He brought back Levi Onwuzurike. He brought in Roy Lopez. Yeah, he added El Muhammad back. Cool. But that's a backup. Guaranteed. Pat O'Connor, backup. Mitch Agadu, or whatever his name is, he's at best is a practice squad guy and in case of emergency, break glass. I believe our two picks are going to be between a hybrid guard and a guy who can play either guard, tackle, guard, tackle, center, something like that. Could that be the guy? Zabel? It could be. But it could be a host of other people too. We're picking 28 people. All right. And we also talked about players that I really wanted in free agency. And I named a bunch of them because they were mostly linebackers, DNs, with the exception of a few safeties. I wanted Jamin Davis. I wanted Kaiser White. I wanted Jerome Baker. I wanted Patrick Jones and Hassan Reddick. My favorite one of all of those was Dre Greenlaw. I wanted him bad. I wanted Isaiah Simmons and Zach Bond. I wanted Willie Gay Jr., Nick Bolton, Devin White, Damian Sherwood, Jermaine Moon, Isaiah McDuffie. I wanted these kind of players because we need linebackers. And I'm tired of watching Jack Campbell let people run past him. I wanted Joseph Osei, Dayo, Odimbo, whatever you want to pronounce his name. I wanted him. I wanted Azeez Ojulari. I wanted Trayshawn Wharton and Chase Young. And I only wanted Chase Young just because we brought back Marcus Davenport. I want people who can come in and help us win. We have a window. Y'all think about this. The Lions are in a Super Bowl window. They're in a Super Bowl window. And this is the free agency pool that we get. That's what we get. People forget. People are like, oh, well, he added those cornerbacks. Man, we still got Amik Robertson. He's still here. It's not like we don't have people over there. But when you look at the safety position, you got Kirby and you got Branch. And everybody underneath them, I can care less about. So I know safety is on our list. I'm almost predicting we grab 1 3rd or 4th round. And that to me makes a lot of sense. But what you're not going to see on this list, you ain't going to see too many guards. That's how I know that guard is high on our list. And it's not like it's not It's not like it's not no guards out there that they could have got in free agency. They were trying to bring back Kevin Zeitler. It just didn't work out. And that's cool. That's cool. We definitely ain't gonna have no shot at the Alabama safety. If you talking about Jesus Christ, what is the dude's name? Oh God, why am I drawing a blank on this brother? I know who you're talking about. My brain just not there. I think he's going in the first round, early second. You got to remember, the Alabama kids have been performing in the NFL, so people are really Malachi. Thank you, boy. Wait. Now let me ask you a question. Would you? Because if you taking him, are you prepared to take him in the first, second? Oh, he ain't making it to the third. It's not. No, ain't no. Hell no. Nope. Nah. Nope. I don't see it. I don't see him making it to the third. If he made it to the third, I would be shocked. But I know we're adding a safety in this draft. I know that. And I know that we are looking at the pass rusher / guard position heavy. And it just depends on who they fall in love with, if they trade up or trade out, and they can still get them. It's really that simple. So again, you just gotta be able to look at it. But I wouldn't imagine them, want to trade out, but something tell me that they are. Something tell me that they're going to trade out. All right, good people. I have to get up extremely early. Whew. It says, what about Makuba from Clemson? Makuba. I'm trying to think of the number. Makuba. No, that's not 19. Is that 19? I think that's 19. 19? Oh, from Texas? Yeah, he's going to be gone. He's going to be a second round pick. I don't see that. No, I don't want no. That listen, when Deion tell you that he rank his kids and Shiloh is low, I'm in agreement with him. No. But if you just talk about somebody to be a backup, why not? But Shiloh, backup be damned. You still got to tackle. I'm sorry. You got to know how to tackle. You got to know how to tackle. It just is what it is. Again, I'm gonna be live tomorrow. Just to get us to the draft, and I am going to. I probably might have time to do it. I might have time to just like pop up some film and look at some people and see what if I can do, or I might, like I had a plan to do something different today, and that's all these headlines, and I was like, they killing me softly with this. Like seriously, they really killing me softly. But nonetheless, I will be live tomorrow. After the draft is over, I'll be live again because I want to make sure that I can address that in its entirety. And then I got a bunch of things I want to do after that, just to get back into my groove and get more consistent because y'all, believe it or not, I enjoy doing this. And I know it's a lot of people that's talking Lions right now. Everybody's an expert and stuff. I'm still going to give it to you straight. I'm not, you don't got to be the smartest person to figure this stuff out. You don't got to even be smart to be truthful with you. You just got to pay attention. So, that would be how I would look at it. We got to talk about that Scudderbutter visit. That's on my agenda to talk about the visits that we had and how they played into the visits last year and the year before last and so forth and so on. Because one of the things I noticed about those visits that I find very interesting is that most of those visits really were players that people thought we were going to get, and we went completely opposite of that in most cases. But that's going to be addressed and discussed tomorrow as well. So we're going to hit on a lot of stuff, 100%. All right. Now, you know me, I can't end scoop butter. All right. I'm gonna get it. Either way it go, you know I buy people names. You should see me at work when I talk to clients. They be like, man, what? That's not my name. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right. You know I can't end the show unless I do it on a positive note. And today's positive quote comes from the internet. I don't know who wrote this, but I thought that this is necessary. It says, becoming the best version of yourself comes with a lot of goodbyes. I don't think some of y'all are ready for this one. Becoming the best version of yourself comes with a lot of goodbyes. You see, we ain't quite prepared yet to do just that. You see, everybody wants something new, right? But in order for you to get something new, you generally have to toss out the old. You know what I mean? Like you want a new job, but you insist on keeping the old. No, you toss the old one out. When you want a new girlfriend, you toss out the old one. When you want a new house, you get rid of the old one. You want a new car, you get rid of the old one. You say a lot of goodbyes to things. There are some friends you don't say goodbye to. There's some things that you have done that has pushed you into a direction to say, you know what, I got to make some changes. What this quote is trying to get you to understand is this: becoming the best version of yourself will come with the most ultimate sacrifices that you are not prepared to do. You want to lose weight, you're going to say goodbye to a lot of food. You want to gain muscle, you're going to say goodbye to a lot of bad habits. You want to be successful, you're going to say goodbye to a lot of late night staying up or sleep. You want to be a dad, you're going to say goodbye to certain freedoms. You want to be a husband, you're going to say goodbye to something. You must be prepared to sacrifice something to get what you want. You have to be in a position to tell yourself that this is necessary if I'm going to get there. You want to be rich, you better find ways to make the money. If you want to be something, all you have to do is be willing to sacrifice all the things that kept you from doing it. You're going to tell fear goodbye. Doubt, goodbye. Lack of confidence, goodbye. Some of them friends who only friends with you because you make them feel better because you down, tell them goodbye. You got to tell dreams goodbye because at some point they got to become reality. You can't just sit on a dream. You got to wake up and make something happen. All I'm asking you to do today is prepare yourself for something greater and make the ultimate sacrifice to become the best version of yourself. And prepare yourself for all the goodbyes you got to make. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that's the show for tonight. Please hit that like, subscribe, notification bell, tell a friend and tell a friend I'm back. Make sure you come and join the show, comment, we can talk it up. And I'll see you tomorrow. And as always, don't be no chump. Please do your research. I'm out.